in association with GGP Sports, presents California. We are just moments away from the start of the Subaru men's slalom here. And of course, one of the favorites has to be defending champion Mark Giard, the defending champion. And a champion even though he hasn't won a single race this year. And he's got a tough course ahead of him, one here at Heavenly Valley, and the sponsor of this event, of course, Subaru and Andy. They've been a very big part in staging this race.
A very substantial sponsor of the World Cup this year. They're sponsoring every event, all 11 World Cups this year. They've been a friend and a blood brother to the U.S. ski team.
And now we have in the starting gate and on the course, Thomas Bergler, our first racer, 26-year-old from Switzerland. His best finish so far this year, a third in Parpin, Switzerland.
One of the things we might want to establish right away, Greg, is that there's two poles dictating a gate, and the skier's feet have to pass through that imaginary line. The upper body can be on one section of the pole or the other. See the head on the inside of that gate right there. The feet have to pass through it. And you can see the poles moving out of the way. That's because of the hinge that I showed you this morning with that rapid gate.
Greg Lewis along with Andy Mill here in Heavenly Valley, California for Subaru men's slalom racing action. And remember, our colleagues Pete Liebengood and Kristen Cooper are over in Park City, Utah, and we're going to be going to them several times through the course of this show to have the Women's World Cup Slalom from there. But right now, it's Thomas Bergler of Riggenbach, Switzerland, moving near the finish line. Our first racer will see his time in the lower right of your screen, 53.51, and he, of course, is the leader right now. Next up in the starting gate, it's going to be Hermann Zurbriggen, another one of the fine Swiss and a former World Cup overall champion. But Andy, Hermann Zurbriggen has had his own problems this year.
He has had a difficult year. In the very first races of the season, we were there in Val d'Isère, France. He flew about 160 feet off the Colomban jump right at the top of the course, landed on his rear end.
That was a downhill, of course.
It was unbelievable, the fall he took. And as a matter of fact, I'm really surprised he even had the season underneath his belt. He hasn't had a very strong season, but obviously he's very high in the World Cup overall standings in second place at this point.
So Hermann Zurbriggen feeling a lot of pressure here as he kicks out of the starting gate on the icy top of this 72-gate course here. It starts at about 9,000 feet above sea level with a commanding view of Lake Tahoe and finishes some 1,200 feet lower with a vertical drop of 600 feet. It is a tangle of bamboo and a demanding test for the best. And Hermann Zurbriggen now winding his way through those slalom gates, and it looks like he's having a pretty good run, Andy Mill.
He's skiing very well, very straight at the poles on the upper section of the course, which is very difficult because it's very steep and icy. They put 70,000 gallons of water on this hill over the last couple days. They had 150 people up here at 3 o'clock this morning, boot packing, watering, trying to get it as icy as possible. You can watch Zurbriggen come down towards the finish. He won the last slalom he entered, and typically not a slalom skier, although he did win one slalom last year.
And he has pulled some of these bamboo gates out. It looked like one of them there that came along with him may have slowed him down just a little bit, may have interfered with his concentration. Now he brings one across the finish line. The time, 52.39, and that will move Hermann Zurbriggen into the lead as he takes that slalom pole and throws it off to the side. What a star this man is. And now in the starting gate, there's the man wearing this helmet. In fact, the Yugoslavs, I think, Andy, were the first to wear it. This is Bojan Križaj.
You can see that helmet, Greg, how it sticks out above or beyond those goggles. So the pole hits him in the forehead. The pole's going to hit that helmet and not the goggles. It won't knock that goggle off his face. That's the way they wear these helmets.
Bojan Križaj, one of the older men in this game of slalom racing, but one of the great champions as well. 29 right now. He comes from the northwestern corner of Yugoslavia, Slovenia, which is really just actually the neighbor of Austria, almost part of Austria. You think of Yugoslavia skiing, you think of Sarajevo. Well, this is quite different. Big, gorgeous Austrian Alp-type mountains, and this man, one of the best in the slalom sport. Out he comes, Bojan Križaj.
He's much smaller in size compared to a number of the other skiers, but watch him move foot to foot down this steep, icy section. It's important. Trouble there. Loses his pole, gets going too straight. And this is one of the key things that the athlete doesn't want to do in that steep, icy section. Go too straight at the pole. Then they have to jam their edges. Typically, they go off the course and lose time.
Right now, our leader from Switzerland is Hermann Zurbriggen. This is the Yugoslavian racer Bojan Križaj, a silver medalist in the 1982 World Championships in slalom. And he is making his attack. He's moved down to more gradual terrain now, a little bit of a flat pitch, and then it gets steeper as he makes the last about 25 gates down to the finish line.
You can see how Bojan, when the cameras are in front of him right here, how he takes those poles across the shin. This is what the athletes call shinning, because it's not on the upper body, it's in the lower part of the body where they take these gates out.
Okay, the the time to beat on the lower left, 52.39, and it is not fast enough for Bojan Križaj, 52.74. Disappointment. He is quite annoyed with that performance. He's in second place right now.
Second, Bojan Križaj, third, Thomas Berger.
And this is our next racer out of the starting gate, the number 4 man, Ivano Edalini of Italy, 24 years old, and 1985 World Championships, 9th in the slalom. He's been very consistent, a few top performances this year, no victories. And out he comes, attacking. And that's what you have to do on this icy course.
He has skied well in giant slalom, and one of the coaches that they have this year, Pietro Giappana, has come off, actually is a retired athlete himself. He's been coaching these athletes, and the Italian team has seen better results in giant slalom. Tosh, who will be coming up a little bit later, had great results last year, and I think they're a little bit surprised that the slalom team hasn't been as well or as effective as they wished.
This is Ivano Edalini of Italy on the course. There are 8 different countries represented in the first seed of 15 racers. He's at the midway mark right now. And Edalini, known for his mountain boy toughness and a technique that's more attack than finesse. And that's what we see him doing here with about 25 gates to go. Just banging those slalom poles, and one gets caught between his legs there, but he manages to get rid of it. Now coming close to the finish line. Looks like a pretty good run. Time, 4th fastest, 53.54, and again the time to beat, 52.39 on the lower left of your screen there, belonging to the Swiss Firmin Zurbriggen, who comes to this race with a slalom victory just a week ago. Lots of great racers still to come, though, in this first seed, and our next skier will be the best of them all. This is Rok Petrovic. And he is from Yugoslavia, also from Ljubljana, which is an industrial city, but very near the mountains of Slovenia in that northwest corner of the country of Yugoslavia. 20 years old with 4 slalom wins.
A very young skier, as you can see, Greg. He's won 4 slaloms this year, as you just mentioned. And for the last couple of years, his coach, Tony Vorgernek, from Yugoslavian coach, has been telling us in the world, watch out for this guy. This is my young man, and he's going to be his hero. And obviously, at 20 years old, Greg, he has made an incredible statement to the World Cup skiing this year.
He is astounding the way he comes down, banging those poles out. This is Greg Lewis along with Andy Mill in Heavenly Valley, California for Subaru Men's Slalom Racing. Remember, we're going to be going to our colleagues in just a little while in Park City, Utah. That's Pete Liebengood and Kristen Cooper with the women's slalom there.
He's making up some time on the bottom, Greg. I think he was a little bit slow on top. He was going too straight, going out of the course a little bit wide. But watch him on the bottom. He'll be dancing from foot to foot, cutting those gates off. You can see how he's shitting those poles and going as straight as possible. This is where he's really good.
They do have shin pads on. They are gladiators, as Andy Mill described them before. And Rok Petrovic comes in. His time, 52.6. And gate racer number 9, Paul Fromelt of Liechtenstein, with 1 slalom victory under his belt this year, and that was in Kitzbühel, Austria. Oh,
leaning inside, almost out of the course already, Greg. A lot of problems right there. And I think one of the things that the coaches should be telling the athletes, as we had problems with last year in Park City, is on a steep section of course, get the rhythm. Make a couple of good turns, get set, and then go. And what happens, a lot of these world-class athletes, they know that everybody's gunning so hard right at the start that they try to go too fast, too early. You can see the goggles. The rapid gates, as I mentioned before, hit him in the goggles, knocked the goggles off his head, and he had to just throw them off, Greg.
Paul Fromelt not wearing one of these new slalom racing helmets. The gate came back up, slammed him over the brow, and he lost his goggles, and now he is trying to get back into form here.
He's going fast.
And he is going very well, really attacking this course. A big, tall racer, 6 feet tall. That makes it a little bit tougher, perhaps, for those tall racers as he winds his way through. Only about 6 gates to go.
Won a bronze medal in the 84-82 World Championships, and Fromelt comes to the finish very fast on the bottom with a 53.41.
And from Austria, now it is Robert Zoller, nicknamed Disco Roller because he likes to have a good time, and he hopes to have a good time of a different sort here. Time on the clock as he makes his attack on the slalom course at Heavenly Valley, California. The 12th slalom of a long and arduous 1985-86 World Cup campaign.
Zoller typically does not pole plant very well, and I think this is one of the things that his coaches have been working with this year. What that pole plant does is it recenters you every turn, stabilizes the upper body and center balance. You'll watch him in the bottom section down here. He'll open his arms and hug the poles. He'll just start clucking them in his chest.
What he seems to do is keep those hands high, bang the slalom gates out of his way as he can with these rapid gates, and then try to sneak around the pole as quickly as possible. Got his weight back a little bit there. Not a great run for Robert Zoller. Again, Herman Zurbriggen is number 2 right now. The leader, Rok Petrovic, and the time there.
He made up some time on the bottom, Greg.
52.79, a good run. And now in the starting gate.
Ready for 12.
What a champion. Ingemar Stenmark. The name itself means ski racing. He has got 82 World Cup victories in his career. Won a slalom earlier this season in St. Anton, Austria.
Greg, I think ski racing is back in Stenmark's life. He had a year and a half without a win. He had a new family. He just had a child. And now he's back. He's recentered with his mind. He knows what he wants to do. He wants to ski race again. The family life is settled. And he won 3 events this year, 2 GSs and a slalom. And you can see Stenmark coming down here, making his way, cutting those turns very tightly. He is such an unbelievable skier year in and year out.
Greg Lewis and Andy Mill in Heavenly Valley, California for Subaru Men's Slalom. We're going to be going in just a little while to our colleagues in Park City, Utah for the women's event there, and that is Kristen Cooper and Pete Levengood. But right now, you are looking at an astounding run here by Ingemar Stenmark, who has the chance to get one more slalom. He's won 38 in his career as he attacks and bends his way around the slalom pole. Right now, in first, it is Rok Petrovic of Yugoslavia. Stenmark, what a great run developing here.
So straight on the bottom. He has made up so much time. I'd be very surprised if he could take the lead.
The time, 52.48. It is the 3rd best time for Ingemar Stenmark. But remember, in slalom, there are 2 runs, and Stenmark has always been famous for his attack from the back. Ingemar Stenmark in great position to win his 83rd World Cup race of his career.
Racer ready.
And now, our next racer in the starting gate, Oswald Totsch, as he kicks out, 22 years old from Italy.
He had some great results. Oh, trouble, and he goes down right away, Greg. That's the problem when the first gates are set on a very steep pitch. Athletes try to go too fast too soon. Let's try to look at that one more time, Greg. I have a feeling he probably went too straight up there, but let's just take a look. Comes around the first gate, no problem there. You can see he's shinning the gates, cutting them off. Just a little bit too straight, gets low, and he just doesn't make the next gate. That's just a problem with going too straight, Greg.
Oswald Totsch is out, not injured. The next skier in the starting gate, the defending World Cup champion, the defending World Cup slalom champion, winner of 7 slaloms last year, the incomparable Mark Giardelli of Luxembourg. He has not won a single slalom race this year, but look into those goggles. The concentration is there in those eyes. This man can win anytime he enters the starting gate in any race. Downhill, giant slalom, super giant slalom, or slalom. And now we have slalom and Mark Giardelli on the course.
Giardelli is an incredible athlete, and it's really surprising to see him ski so well in downhill this year. And I think that shows his versatility as a human being and as a skier. He came in on the downhill circuit and started off with the 2nd in the first race of the season. And it's really surprising to me, Greg, to see that he hasn't done better in slalom. He was 4th in St. Anton and 3rd in Norway, which was one of the later events of the season. So he's starting to ski better in this event. Just with the season coming on to a later stage of the year, he has had more skiing.
Mark Giardelli right now, the overall leader in the World Cup standings. A win here could almost lock it up for him. His challenger is Herman Zurbriggen, and Zurbriggen right now is in very good shape in this race. Zurbriggen will also be a contender for victory here today. Giardelli, what a tough job it is to run downhill on long skis, then a few days later, since he's just come from Aspen, Colorado, to switch to slalom skis in a completely different technique and try to beat racers who only ski in slalom. Sneaking his way around the final poles. The time, 53.63, and right now that places him in 9th position. He looked pretty fast, Andy, but it was Hunter comes out trying to make his way through those first few gates, which have been so unsettling to so many of the racers so far today.
Watch him get his rhythm. The first couple gates, Greg, he went nice and round to set it up, to get his rhythm. Now I think right now, in the middle of the steep, he's going to start really charging and start cutting those gates off. You can see those rapid gates wrapping around his body, and he's just really cutting the gate and the line off.
This is Gunther Mader, racer number 18 on the course from Austria, Heavenly Valley, California. Subaru men's slalom racing action. This is the 12th slalom of this demanding World Cup season, and one of the most important as we near the end of this campaign. The points here are more critical than ever to determine how these races will finish overall. Right now, Gunther Mader, with only about 10 gates to go to the finish line. Hands high, sneaks around the turns, into the finish.
Very fast. Fastest time, 52.11, an unbelievable run. The kid has got so much confidence. He gets in that starting gate, he goes for broke.
Injured last season, this season in the best form of his career. Gunther Mader, our new leader, 52.11.
At the start, number 19.
Racer ready.
Martin Hangel of Switzerland is now on the course, and he knows that he has no excuse. The man who preceded him down set a new fastest time, so Hangel will have to make his way with all he has got to give. And he did well at the top, Andy Mill.
Well, I think what we can say right now that the people here at Heavenly Valley, Billy Shaw and all their race crew has done an outrageous job preparing this course. It was soft snow yesterday. They asked for 40 employees to come out at 2 o'clock this morning to put 70,000 gallons of water on this hill with some ammonium nitrate to make it icy and hard, but 120 showed up. That shows that the youth volunteers love ski racing, and they are right behind this World Cup event.
Switzerland's Martin Hangel on his way down, trying to catch up with Gunther Mader, who's number 1 right now. Of course, Robert Petrovic is number 2, followed by Ingemar Stenmark in 4th position. Into the finish here. Martin Hangel, a slalom, actually a giant slalom specialist, and the time, 7th fastest, 53.05. Setting up in the starting gate, adjusting his poles. It is Dietmar Kohlbichler, and you can see the padding on the shoulders there, the padding on the gloves. There's also padding on the shins. This is a gladiatorial sport as they make their way through the slalom gates.
10 years, celebrating their 10th anniversary with the team. They are a big supporter of World Cup skiing and the U.S. ski team. They are more than just a sponsor. They are a friend with the ski team.
Dietmar Kohlbichler, you can see the name written across the back of his sweater there. He wants everybody to know who he is as he goes by.
Skiing well, sitting back though, Greg. I think that if he can get through this upper section of the course, he might have a very good run because he's got the attitude right now, immediately at the start, of charging. He's skiing very well.
A very gymnastic recovery up there, but Kohlbichler is now back on track as he comes, a little bit low there, but he makes a quick recovery. The ice on this course is holding it up very well. There's no problem with big ruts developing, so Kohlbichler, even though he is running from a later starting position, has a very good chance here to come up and be in the top 5.
He's skiing very well. One of the things we want to remember with ski racing, we have no accelerators on skis, so it's very important to carry a nice high line to carry the speed down through that course. If you go too straight, get too wide, you have to throw the ski sideways, and therefore braking. Coming through the finish, he's skiing very well, Greg.
Very straight line. The time there, 53.36, and that'll put him into 9th position right now.
Very respectable.
So, Kohlbichler of Austria, 22-year-old racer, has a good run. He was 3rd in Kitzbühel, 5th in Sestriere. Now getting ready in the starting gate, America's hope here in this Subaru men's slalom at Heavenly Valley, California. This is Felix McGrath of Norwich, Vermont. We want to remind you that we're going to be going very soon to Park City, Utah for the women's slalom there. We've got same-day coverage of these 2 fine races, all this exciting action from Heavenly and Park City, and it's coming to you via satellite. Now, Felix McGrath leads out over the starting 1, number 29. Go, Felix! And he gets a burst of cheers from the top. The American crowd here looking for big things from him and Andy. Let's watch that important left-hand turn. Here it comes.
And he hits it well. Felix McGrath, I got a feeling he's going to have a great run today. He comes from the East Coast. He skis it very, very well on solid ice. This course is so well prepared that I think he's got a chance to skiing at the number 29th position. He was 4th earlier this season in Berchtesgaden, West Germany, and he said that he is very excited about racing here today. He is ready. He is on a home court. He's got the home court advantage today.
Felix McGrath, number 29 on the course.
He's cutting those gates off very, very straight. You can see those rapid gates bending around his body and snapping out of his way. Greg, I think he's having an outrageous run.
And the throngs of spectators have pressed against the fencing to cheer for this fine American with only 10 gates to go. Felix McGrath on his way to a top finish here. The fastest time, 52.11, and McGrath, 53.07. He is 9th fastest now, and remember how important and how successful he was there because many of the preceding racers fell on this course. So McGrath overcomes those problems, comes down to finish 9th in this first run, and America has a chance at a top finish in the second run. The skis being cleaned belong to Tiger Shaw. He has the helmet on to protect himself as he makes his descent against the 72 gates of this Subaru Heavenly Valley men's slalom. World Cup racing here. Tiger Shaw, one of America's best in the technical events. We've already seen Felix McGrath go down with a top 10 finish. But Tiger Shaw now running a little bit later on this race course. He has to deal with some different problems.
I think what he's thinking about right now in the starting gate, he's looking down that course with that steep, icy first 15, 20 turns. He's thinking to himself, get my rhythm, be good.
Racer ready.
Let's watch the top section very closely here. It has taken out at least a dozen racers in these very first few turns. Tiger Shaw seems to be on. The American here rallying to the cry of the crowd that is cheering him as he comes down.
He's skiing very well.
Oh,
he's getting back out of that rut. There's a little bit of a rut up there. His skis jetted out from underneath him. He sat back, but he made it. He's skiing very well, Greg. And down here in the bottom section, he's going to have to attack. He's got to go very, very straight. The course is in perfect condition. And you can see right now, he's moving those rapid gates out of his way very cleanly.
From Stowe, Vermont, Tiger Shaw, the time to beat belongs to Gunther Matter. He's the leader. Rok Petrovic of Yugoslavia is number 2. Zurbriggen is 3rd. Stenmark is 4th. And remember, his teammate Felix McGrath is in the top 10 right now. And, oh, what a great recovery by Tiger Shaw. Again, the crowd cheering loudly here. The sun has broken through. Ideal conditions for Tiger Shaw to have a brilliant run. Only a couple of turns now to the finish line. 53.36. And Tiger Shaw, as the crowd roars, has the 10th fastest time at this point in the first run of this Subaru men's slalom in Heavenly Valley. So the Americans are in great shape here. Gunther Matter is the leader right now from Austria, followed by Rok Petrovic. And we want to remind you to stay with us for exclusive two-mountain coverage when we return.